Hello, everyone. How are you this beautiful day that the Lord has made? I'm Karen Jane Casey on the podcast Turn to God with Carin. And as you may know, every Monday we have Hope and Faith Journey. This is when we share struggles, challenges that we're facing, and we find encouragement through experiences and what we've learned, sharing what we've learned, and knowing that we can turn to God about anything. Well, today's episode is just a quandary that I've been thinking of. The episode title is Materialism versus Fulfillment. And what is the definition of materialism? Well, I Googled it. The tendency to consider material possessions and physical comfort as more important than spiritual values. The synonyms for it would be greed, greediness, covetousness, possessiveness, and selfishness. Well, that doesn't sound very pleasant, does it? The problem with having a focus on material things, we will continually be chasing after it without the real sense of satisfaction or fulfillment. Contentment can escape a person completely who is intent with greed, to the need for more, to accumulate bigger and better things. Why do I say that? Well, I have a few reasons. The more we have, the more we want. As a person gathers more and more possessions, money, and wealth, the more they want. It's a never-ending vicious cycle. Another one is envy seeps in. As a person reaches higher and higher plateaus in their material world, they will see other people ahead of them at a higher level, and that bothers them. Envy grows. The struggle to reach a higher level to keep up with the Joneses keeps them working continuously toward it without any stopping place for real satisfaction and fulfillment. Another one, material things don't last. Even at the point that we acquire or purchase something, it has already begun the natural process of rot, decay, and decreased value. Money even decreases in value. What you buy with that money decreases and rots and decays and rusts. And lastly, and these are not all of them, these are four that I thought of. Life on earth is temporary. So we don't live forever. The most that we can hope for is that we will accumulate many, many things. Lots of wealth, lots of material goods, especially things of value. And then when we die, it'll go to someone else. That doesn't sound very satisfying. So for the reasons I listed above, when the love of material goods, money, or wealth has a higher focus than our moral values or our spiritual desires, then I sincerely believe that we cannot reach a sense of true fulfillment or satisfaction or contentment. If that is true, then wouldn't materialism then be a troubling problem, a challenge for us to overcome? And do we have it in us to be able to overcome it? Yes, we can make the decision to actually work to get away from materialism and to get away from greediness and selfishness. When we bring together several people with the same materialistic focus to run a group, to run a country, to run a company, then other people suffer. If a person's focus is on materialism as their highest value, to possess more and more things and money, then it would stand to reason then they are not going to care about those who don't have as much as they do. They are not going to care about those who don't have enough. Maybe the desire would be great to take from others. So what is the opposite of materialism and greed? According to the internet, the opposite might include these things: generosity, courtesy, spiritualism, unselfishness, charity, kindness, self-control, and that just names a few of them. All of those are biblical qualities. All of them were seen in the character of Jesus. So a person can study the character of Jesus and then consider in every instance, what would Jesus do? It's so easy to get caught up in our wants, but as we want more. Materialism escalates quickly while the level of satisfaction diminishes. And what about the suffering? Our moral values, our integrity, care for others' welfare, those are the things that we suffer. Our heart suffers. I'm only bringing this up for myself and for each and every one of us because the holiday season is upon us and we're filled with excitement. But are we going to be able to get beyond ourselves and think about other people? Think about generosity. Think about blessing others. How about it if we deliberately decided to concentrate on the opposites of materialism and greed? So I hope that each of us, myself included, will unselfishly consider to place our focus on growing in generosity, courtesy, charity, love, kindness, and of course, to exercise self-control in our spending. Would there be less regrets as we go into the next year? I think there would be. And we could feel a satisfaction, a fulfillment in our heart. Well, here's a few quotes that I found in an article, and it's entitled 50 Inspiring Gratitude Quotes, written by Shutterfly Community on June 26, 2020. So I'm just going to read a few. I'm not going to go through all 50 of them, but I hope that you will go to them and take a look. Happiness cannot be traveled to, owned, earned, worn, or consumed. Happiness is the spiritual experience of living every minute with love, grace, and gratitude. Dennis Waitley. Isn't that pretty much summing up what we were talking about? Another one. No one who achieves success does so without the help of others. The wise and confident acknowledge this help with gratitude. Alfred North Whitehead. In ordinary life, we hardly realize that we receive a great deal more than we give, and that it is only with gratitude that life becomes rich. Dietrich Bonhoeffer. You cannot do a kindness too soon because you never know how soon it will be too late. Robert Waldo Emerson. I've got a few more. Gratitude will shift you to a higher frequency and you will attract more, much better things. Rhonda Byrne. When I started counting my blessings, my whole life turned around. Willie Nelson. The root of joy is gratefulness. David Steindl Rast. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. Expectus. And then the last one is, gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos to order, confusion to clarity, and it can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, a stranger into a friend. Melody Beatty. Well, I just want to share some food for thought. That's all this is. Well, I hope for you to have a wonderful holiday season. And thank you for joining me in this episode of Turn to God with Carin. This is Carin Jane Casey, author, speaker, podcaster, domestic violence victim advocate, and ambassador for Christ. Stay tuned for Turn to God with Carin every Monday morning at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Wednesday's episodes are Sword of the Spirit. Friday, we have Carin's Book Corner. And I invite you to go to my website contact page and share with me your comments, your suggestions, Any feedback is always welcome. And that is at CarinJaneCasey.com. When you go there, you'll see books, blogs, podcasts, and some information regarding domestic violence. Thank you and God bless.